You're listening to The John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Ferris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris. Top of the morning to you, Dan O'Ferris.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it's one of them days.
St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm Polish. I've never really gotten into it. My
Not your thing?
family never really celebrated it.
Very Irish.
This is one of those days where a lot of people who are kind of like not really Irish pretend to be Irish.
It's a big deal in Sioux Falls, and then they're getting ready for their parade. Going to have a great day for it too. Later today, partly cloudy, mid-50s.
Ooh,
Downtown's
nice.
going to be packed.
But is the parade today or is the parade this Saturday?
Oh, it's this Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday the 19th.
Oh yeah, blizzard. That's going to be a whole different situation.
I hope not.
Whole different situation.
But it'll still be busy downtown today, too, I guarantee you.
Dan did find a page on the internet that said it was last weekend. And I saw that
They
too.
were wrong.
It was the website for the Sioux Falls St. Patrick's Day Parade, and I'm going,
You'd think
how was
they'd
this
know.
last weekend?
Right.
Did we miss it? It was just...
No, it was
No,
wrong.
totally wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, parade gets underway this Saturday, 2 o'clock, downtown Phillips Avenue. Usual suspects enjoy. In case you don't know, St. Patrick's Day made an official Christian feast day in the early 17th century. And it was pretty much Christian and religious. It was observed by the Catholic Church, the Anglican Communion, especially the Church of Ireland, Eastern Orthodox Church, and the Lutheran Church. Was on board too. Celebrations generally involve public parades these days, festivals, wearing green attire, shamrocks, barroom brawls, public intoxication, and urination. Celebrating birthdays today, still one of the best male singers ever in the history of the planet, Nat King Cole.
Oh, yeah.
Born this day, you want to hear somebody do it right? Just
Absolutely.
unforgettable. Nat King
Beautiful.
Cole. Kurt Russell is 71.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have always liked Kurt Russell.
Hey, without Kurt Russell, we don't have Snake Plissken, right?
He was recently Santa Claus, which when I first saw that, I'm like, what the heck? He's
Santa
not-
Claus where? In a movie?
Yeah, and I was like, he ain't no Santa Claus. Then I watched it. I was like, man, he
a
was
recent movie?
Yeah, like last year. He was kind of a rough and tumble Santa Claus. He was good too, really good.
Was this like in theaters?
No, it was on Netflix, I think.
I think it was a Netflix
I don't know,
movie,
it was.
yeah.
But then at the very end, never mind. I don't want to ruin it. There was a neat little thing
I
at
don't
the
think you'll
end.
ruin it because nobody's going to watch it, John.
You
All right,
never know.
You get to see who Mrs. Claus is, and it's somebody that was pretty neat.
Gary Sinise, we love him. Lieutenant Dan,
Love Gary Sinise.
It was not Gary Sinise. He was not Mrs.
Super
Claus.
talented guy, man. That guy is talented.
He is.
67, great actor, has his own band, runs around, and has a little thing called the Gary Sinise Foundation.
Which is amazing. I love it.
If you happen to know him, let him know I'd like to talk to him on the John and Heidi Show. I've messaged him numerous times.
Foundation does really all kinds of things.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome things. Yeah.
Including building smart homes for
Yep.
Yeah.
for injured vets and on it goes. So
Yeah,
happy
you
birthday
gotta love
to,
that.
to Gary today. It was 1962, the very first St. Patrick's Day parade in America happened in New York City.
Really?
True story.
1862.
1762.
Ooh.
Let's say, I was thinking, why in the middle of the Civil War would they stop to have
You know
a
what we need
parade?
to do?
Hey, just because there's a war going on, it doesn't mean people weren't doing other stuff.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
when they invented A1 sauce
I mean, that's
in
all
the
there
middle
is
of
to
the
it.
Civil War.
And again, wrap your head around this because it's the first time. And you're going to be doing this, and you're not really sure how it's going to work out. This day in 1898, John Philip Holland achieves a successful test run of the first modern submarine off Staten Island, New York.
How'd you like to be the guy in that thing?
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I got this big kind of rusty
Right.
looking
We're
metal
going
tube here.
to dump it in the ocean. And
We're going to
see
sink
what
it
comes
under the
out.
water. It's like, what?
And we
Who's
think
going in?
you're going to be okay.
Yeah, actually had a successful submersion of 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Nice.
Proving that it could be done. And gosh darn it, they were right. And finally in 1845, this was a game changer. I know I weaponized these things my entire childhood. The rubber band
Oh, yeah.
is patented in London by Stephen Perry. Of course, would go on to Front Journey.
Might be a different guy. Look at that. I happen to have one right here, Dan.
Fantastic. I know, you know, we all know. And we just forge right ahead.
All right, we're going to do that. It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. they'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Time now for a bright spot of news brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine and Sioux Falls. They can brighten any room with a beautiful light fixture. We're going to brighten your day right now with some positive news. And I have Jamie Elwood, the District Director for the U.S. Small Business Administration in the South Dakota office. And we've got her on the line right now. Jamie, how are you?
Hello, I am doing great. I'm eager for spring to get here. I saw some robins, and so I'm very excited about the warmer weather coming.
Oh, yeah, it's getting here. And as we're in the middle of March right now, it's probably a good time to talk about this. Women's History Month is March, and there's many training and networking opportunities and activities for women and small business owners this month. Let's talk a little bit about what you guys have going on through the SBA.
Absolutely. So we're halfway through March already, and it is Women's History Month, and so SBA every March really goes all out and recognizes women business owners. So in South Dakota, almost half of our businesses are women-owned, and we have about 90,000 small businesses in the state. So that's a lot of women business owners. Yeah. And we're really excited to amplify women entrepreneurship and business ownership this month. Nationally, there's some events that are coming up. I wanted to call to everybody's attention. SBA is holding a National Women's Summit actually on the 29th and 30th of March. That's 2 days of covering a wide range of business topics that really can help women business owners to start but also grow their businesses. And you can look at the SBA.gov/SD for South Dakota website to find the registration link. You do have to register to be able to get access to this. The nice thing, though, is that a lot of these virtual events are recorded, and so if you don't have time to join them right at the time when they're happening in real time, you can always watch them on demand later, but you do have to register to be able to get the link to be able to watch it later on.
And you do that at SBA.gov/SD?
Absolutely, and you can click on the date. So you could click on the date of the 29th or the 30th, and it'll pop open with that event, and then there's a registration link implanted in there, and so embedded in there, and so you can get to it that way. And then National Women's Small Business panel is also going to take place nationally. That is on the 31st of March, and it's going to focus on women business opportunities in the federal contracting supply chain. So what's really great right now is we have a senior leader at SBA headquarters she was a business owner, and she was very active in federal contracting. And her name is Natalie Cofield, and she actually visited out here in Sioux Falls when our SDCEO Women's Business Center on the east side of the state opened up earlier this year. And so she was out here in South Dakota. So she's going to lead that panel discussion, and they're going to share a lot of details on how to get into the federal supply chain. And I really see that as a growth opportunity, not just for women businesses, but for all small businesses in South Dakota that are offering goods or services that the government, may need. And the government actually is the largest customer of small businesses across the nation. So we want to make sure that South Dakota businesses get their access to that. And then I wanted to highlight, too, a couple other points here. SBA does have 2 women's business centers in South Dakota. SDCEO East Women's Business Center is here in Sioux Falls, and then SDCEO West is out in Spearfish. And together, they work together to cast an amazing net of business support across the entire state. They offer in-person and virtual trainings and networking events, and we're just really blessed to have that great capacity and capability here in South Dakota. And then SBA also has a wonderful online learning platform for women business owners. It's called Ascent. You can easily do an internet search in your favorite platform that you like to do your searches in, and just put in SBA Ascent and ASCENT, and it'll come up. Or you can go to ascent.sba.gov and find it too. And so great platform for lots of different learnings about every type of small business avenue that you can imagine. Federal contracting, exporting, access to capital, how to start a business, how to grow your business. It's all right there on that Ascent site.
Again, our guest... go ahead.
I was going to say, and if you would like to get a hold of us locally, we have a team across South Dakota, always here to serve small businesses. Just give us a call at 605-330-4243 or look on our website at sba.gov/SD for more information. And we have a great e-newsletter, John. I hope you're signed up for it. But we send that out about once a week with all of the upcoming events and updated, news from national, but also here in South Dakota. And you can subscribe to that at sba.gov/updates. Just put in your zip code in your email, and you're going to get the South Dakota e-newsletter.
And it is a great newsletter. I do get that. Jamie, thank you for your time. We'll talk again next week, all right?
I look forward to it.
And they got a lot of great stuff going on. We're going to try to stay connected, and you can stay connected. SBA.gov/SD. Again, SBA.gov/SD.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
And now stuff Dan finds interesting. Yeah.
It is time for Stuff Dan finds interesting. Who's been drinking on St. Patrick's Day?
You get it done. Come on, John. You got this.
Interesting on this Thursday, Dan.
This is interesting. We normally stay away from stuff like this because everybody else isn't.
Oh.
But there's kind of a interesting side note to this whole Russia-Ukraine thing going on.
Oh, what's the side note?
Russia, as you know, has had the living bejesus sanctioned out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly economically, what's going on, banks and everything else. And, little things going on. In fact, I remember a couple of weeks ago, I saw a post of Hy-Vee had stopped carrying Russian vodka, things like that. So it's a thing, man. Global companies pulling the plug, whatever. But I think we have found the clincher.
What's that?
The game changer.
What's that?
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to Middleton, Wisconsin, where the National Mustard Museum has just posted a sign in the entryway. And it's a professionally printed sign. In pretty large font, too. And it reads, "The Russian mustards have been temporarily removed. They'll return once the invasion of Ukraine is over and Russia recognizes and respects the sovereign nation of Ukraine."
Okay.
Admission, by the way, is free.
Free admission to the Mustard Museum?
Whether Russian mustards are on display or not.
There's no discount without the Russian mustards.
And I think what's interesting here is until this moment, really, I had no idea there was a mustard museum.
I didn't know there were
would it
Russian
be
mustards.
Like Plockman's or whatever? Is that Russian or what?
Plockman's isn't Russian.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
There are literally thousands of mustards from around the world, John.
I'm guessing French's is probably French.
Actually, I was on the website, and you can visit it at mustardmuseum.com, which just makes sense. I'm not making this up.
How do I not own this?
Mustardmuseum.com.
Huh.
It's in Middleton, Wisconsin, which is basically a bedroom community or suburb of Madison. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this thing looks pretty cool, and I like how they're taking a stand. Because really, what else could they do? They're a mustard museum.
Oh yeah, you gotta. If they won't act, who will? I'm just saying.
It's just, I don't know. It gives me hope.
Yeah. Well,
alrighty.
I have a friend who sent his Russian
until
wife.
they apologize.
Sent his
We're
Russian
not
wife a
letting their
packet.
mustards back in our museum.
Mustard's behind this counter right here.
Until they say they're sorry.
Who came up with the idea for the mustard museum? Isn't that just funny?
That's fantastic.
It's probably on the website, John.
I'm gonna have to mustardmuseum.com.
Mustardmuseum.com.
There's a museum for everything.
Get everything you want
Let's
to know.
find something that doesn't have a museum and let's start one. I just want to start a museum. I want to be a curator for something like the
Sharpie Museum.
no, not
There's
that.
probably not a Sharpie
I want something
museum.
cool.
And it wouldn't have to be a very big one.
Salt and pepper museum.
Guessing there
Alrighty.
is one.
Condiments of some sort. Well, Dan, thank you for coming in. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
At bettercreditcards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at bettercreditcards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Thursday, March 17th, 2022. Equities went on a wild ride Wednesday, first moving higher, then lower, then higher again as the FOMC initiates the first interest rate hike in 4 years. They raised the benchmark rate by 25 basis points despite calls for a much larger hike. The news that spooked the market is the outlook for rate hikes and inflation, an outlook that now includes as many as 7 more interest rate hikes this year, and for inflation to remain hot well into 2023. What this means for consumers is higher prices, and for businesses, tighter margins and slowly eroding business as prices creep higher. The risk for the market now is twofold. On one hand, the FOMC is still behind the curve in regards to inflation. This means inflation will remain a risk for S&P 500 earnings and will likely cut into the earnings growth outlook for the year. On the other hand, a mere 25 basis points will do nothing to slow inflation and will only spur it to new heights in the near term. If the FOMC were to actually tackle inflation in a meaningful way, they'd be forced to spur a recession in the economy. You can get the inside track at marketbeatminute.com.